Did you notice that you actually looked a lot like Ed Tipper?
I did actually, yeah. It was one of because they sent us all. As I'm sure you've heard about 800 pages each of research they've done. All the people in there. It was a picture of Ed Tipper, and I just sort of looked and I said, "Oh my God, that does actually look exactly like me." He was I was 23 when I did Band of Brothers, and Ed Tipper was 21 at that time. So and yeah, he does. He was uncanny. He was absolutely uncanny. But I think they did think about that quite closely. I mean, obviously David Trimmer looks a lot like Sobel as well, and a lot of the others look like their characters as well. I mean, Nolan Hemmings looks a lot like Chuck Grant, and yeah, I think they did think quite carefully about that, and they wanted to give it as much authenticity as possible. So they did go for that.
I have a question from Ann Martinez. She sends through the email. She would like to know more about the extensive makeup and effects needed for the wounding scene at Carentan, and how long did it take to get you through makeup?
Oh my God, that took 3.5 hours, if I remember right.
Wow.
When they did the test, it was longer because obviously I had to go in one day when I wasn't shooting, and they did a full test on me and literally covered my body and that stuff, and that took hours and hours and hours. And I had to do actually I did it. I remember I did the cast for my head right before we went off to boot camp. They actually took me into the prosthetics place for about an hour or so before we all got shipped off, and they just coated my head in this blue slime that is absolutely freezing when they apply it. It's like freezing stuff, and they stick it on you. And I had to have a straw in my mouth so I could breathe. And they poured that stuff over me, and then it solidifies, and they sort of peel it off, and they sort of cut it in half, take the back off, or take the front off, and they've got the cast of your head. And they needed to do that for the eye patch thing. And then it's weird. They didn't apply obviously a full thing to my head. They applied just a section of the eye where Tipper lost his eye. And yeah, that took a long time to do all that. And it was when we actually did it for when we shot that scene, it took a lot less. They knew also they then decided that I would be standing up. Those aren't my legs when I'm sitting down. I'm actually standing in the. They hollowed out. They took out a flagstone and dug a big hole in the pavement. And I'm actually standing up there, and I've got prosthetic legs stuck to my waist that stick out. And so they actually didn't have to do the sort of my legs, which they had initially planned on doing, and they covered them and all sort of wounds and stuff like that.
Now, did you get an opportunity to speak with Ed when you were doing this?
I did. I spoke with Ed twice on the phone when we were shooting, and then I met him at the premiere, which was an incredible thing, actually, to actually meet him in person. And I was lucky enough that Ed was still around. So a lot of guys didn't get to meet him, and it was an amazing honor to meet the guy, because I have immense respect for those people, because what they went through is, I don't think people can actually probably manage that these days. I mean, when they were in Bastogne, they did 36 days or whatever it was, or 60 days or something ridiculous like that, with no cold weather gear and -5 degrees. God, when we shot Devil's Playground last year, it was -4 here, and I had about 18 layers on, and I was still freezing to death. I cannot imagine what they went through doing that, and tough people.
My pop-pop got sent home because of Bastogne. He got frostbite.
Really? Oh, yeah. It's very because they didn't have any sort of cold weather socks and stuff like that, and their feet went really.
Yeah, you would think that you would have to look back and think at this point in time that the men of Easy Company, especially during the Bastogne battles, how they didn't just die of hypothermia.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. And let alone that, but still have the energy and the will to fight. You're dying of literally freezing to death, and you've got to fight, and it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. And meeting it. I mean, it was meeting all of them actually. When we had the premiere, we met a bunch of them, and and they were. I mean, Ed was always happy to talk to me about stuff. I don't think he particularly, not wanted to, but you know what I mean. He was happy to talk about it, but I don't think he particularly enjoyed it or anything like that. Reminiscing about it. But he was a great guy, a great man. I mean, I still remember when he still went skiing, and he was like 75, and his legs were all mashed up in the Second World War, and the guy's still skiing. That's one tough bastard. Really, absolutely hard as nails. Immense respect for him. Mm-hmm. I just hope, and I think we did. I think we did. I hope we did him justice with what we made. I think we did. You know, it stood the test of time. They still show it here in the UK all the time on various channels. So it's done well. It's done well. I think we did a good job with it.
It's safe to say you're right.